Everything that lives is designed to end.
Alert. Approaching enemy target.
What are you? Pause!
Initiating attack program.
This is top tier tips.
We will continue to fight.
Alert. Hostile remains active.
Good.
Greetings everyone, Force Nature here of Top Tier Tips, and I'm back with another SoulCalibur 6 guide. In this session we're going to be taking a look at a guest from the future, and I mean like way far in the future. We're talking like 11,800 and like something, I mean, which is just pretty damn crazy considering the fact that SoulCalibur 6 takes place in like what, like the late 16th century, like 1590 or something like that. So yeah. So this is like a huge kind of time gap going on here. But yeah, just in time for the holiday season, 2B's in a very bit of a festive mood right now. So right now she's donning her little Christmas outfit. So you can just call her Christmas 2B. Like
Pod.
Report. Affinity increased.
Good.
See, Pod likes the outfit. So yeah, so basically if you're a fan of either Near Automata or SoulCalibur or anything like that, then you're gonna really enjoy 2B. Right. Before doing anything with 2B or just going forward with anything, I highly recommend taking a look at the combat lessons. So just look for 2B because she's a new character. She's like right at the bottom below Geralt. So just select 2B. Alright, I'll let you know that actually there actually is quite a bit of stuff written here for 2B. I'll just let you know that her fighting style is based around similar to like Aswell in the sense that it's based around like multiple weapons. In the case of 2B, she has her normal katana called Virtuous Contract. She has her a big long sword, and she also can use different things like her spear or her kind of Kestis punching thingies. I forget what they're called. I just call them Kestis, and yeah, and different tools like that. So her fighting style can be a bit veritable in the sense that she can pretty much fight from like any kind of range, but I'll go over that a little later. But yeah, you can just like look at this. All right, right here, just looking at the beginner lessons. With regards to 2B, she does have good solid AA/BB strings that do have numerous follow-ups. Like for instance, she has 4 A's there as you can see. And she also has a decent forward B attack that you can also use and like stuff like that. But just moving along. All right, right here, this Adept ends up talking about the aggressive shift, which is 2B's main stance. So this is whenever you see her flying towards her opponent, that's her aggressive shift. I'll let you know the aggressive shift does have aside from having numerous attack options, it also has different kind of mobility options. Like depending on what move led into it, you can either like jump up or like you can kind of retreat and go into a forward. Like I'll show you those things a bit later. But yeah, there are some. So your primary option you're probably going to be using quite a bit in aggressive shift would be like aggressive shift A or aggressive shift K or going for throws. Like there's a bunch of like mid options, and there's also, well, the B option is the low, but the majority options from aggressive shift are B. So being able to implement either the throw options A+G or 4G into it is usually a good idea. All right, mostly if you're like looking at the master, and then you can actually scroll down with the left stick and all that. The main thing to do is once you get used to just general poking with 2B is getting used to just kind of utilizing different weapons. Like if you're just playing with her generally, I highly recommend just mainly just using the normal short sword attacks, so not really worrying so much about the long sword, because the long sword attacks such as like 4 BBB can leave you pretty open if you end up just abusing it. But if you end up connecting, it does a lot of damage, and 4B in particular can hit grounded opponents fairly easily. But the move's also like 24, so yeah, it is pretty slow. For 2B in a general sense, you generally want to be fighting under most circumstances. You want to be fighting in close, like in like your AA or BB range. I'll let you know that, as I stated earlier, 2B's AA and BB are really good. Her AA is 12 frames and it has numerous follow-ups, and if I'm not mistaken, the majority of the options of like AA are relatively safe, like no more than like around minus 10ish or so on block, so you're not really gonna get punished so much for doing that. Although you do have to be careful, like after the set, in the case of AA string, that all the options are highs, even though I think you also have AAB there. So yeah, there's different strings and stuff like that. With regards to B, you have like a low option out of it, so that's always nice. But the main thing about our BB is it's 14 frames, pushes her forward a bit, so that's always good to have around. Another good 14 frame move is like your 3KK. But what I want you to do with this move, 3KK, so you can use it as her, I'd say it's actually would be a bit better than her BB for her 14 frame Punisher. So what you do is hold it slightly. You see that little flash right there? Alright, I'll go over that right now also. Anytime you see that little flash, those things are called analysis points. 2B can hold up to 9 of them. What they do is they increase they allow certain moves like 4K to be able to cause a lethal hit. So if I were to like charge it up,
Weakness analysis complete.
you see right there, Pod told me that basically like combat data or whatever analysis is complete. So that means I have a full complement of analysis points. So you have to kind of mentally keep track of how much you have. Then Pod will tell you when you're full. And then 4K right there will end up leading to a lethal hit, which is pretty darn awesome. Alright, just to recap, any moves that cause this flash here, like that, those different kind of moves, these kind of moves right here do lead to they build up your analysis points, and once you get 9,
Enemy weakness detected.
then Pod right there says enemy weakness detected. So in order to determine which moves can do that, look through like your kicks right here, because it's usually the unarmed moves, so the kicks and punches that build up your analysis points. Now what you want to do now is see like moves that build it up. Like right here, 6KK, 6KK hold can give you 2 points, 6KK gives you 1 point. Like the one I was doing right there, 3K held can give you 2 points and stuff like that. 4K can also do it. So different things right here can do that. And once you build up to 9 points, you get your lethal hit, and you can get like big ass combos. Like I'll show you something off that.
Initiating program.
I'll kill you.
Mind trap for this unit. Mind trap for this unit.
What's this?
Report. Fresh. Initiating attack program.
We will continue to
Alert. Hostile remains active.
Alright, aside from like fundamental AA and like BB strikes and stuff like that in close range, in 2B you can also harass the opponents a bit at range with stuff like 444B, which can also lead into her aggressive shift stance right there, which is her primary stance, and put it with quarter circle forward. You also have stuff like 6A plus B, and right here if you press B plus K, you see 2B kind of just chills, and you can press B, and you could do a little machine gun attack. And she also, if you press the K option,
What's this?
Report. Fresh.
she ends up going fishing. Then you can get in like a guarantee some like guaranteed attacks right here, like 4K or 6K if you want to like do pressure and stuff like that. And also just to also let you know the stance.
Report. Fresh.
2B super her critical edge is guaranteed accurate. You may notice it may get scaled a bit from its normal damage, but
Alert.
But still, though,
Hostile remains active.
that's still pretty good damage for like a guaranteed situation. But yeah, I will also let you know that 2B's critical edge does combo pretty easy. It is a vertical with a pretty good hitbox. It has okay range, but right there, it doesn't necessarily go too far, but it does have good vertical range. I will let you know that if you're going to be using like long range attacks with 2B, I will let you know they are very linear. Like they all can be sidestepped and stuff like 6A+B or fishing stance B are high, so they can be ducked. So you do want to be trying to do them from a range where they won't really be punished. The main purpose of these moves are just to exist. So the opponent has to respect them, so they're not going to want to turtle you and will have to eventually come in. But as a tip for 2B's opponent, generally you want to try and fight her around mid-range, so she can't really harass you with her telegraphed ranged projectile attacks, and also because her fighting style is mostly based around close range rush down. All right, if you do find yourself fighting around mid-range with 2B, and I will admit that happens pretty often in SoulCalibur, then what I want you to focus on is just simply getting on your opponent. Your get-in move will be 668. See right there, and it can lead into her aggressive shift stance. So this move's kind of nice. I mean, yes, it's only it's a 2-hit move, but it's just only 668. And you see right there, it's a low-high move. So if the opponent blocks the low, then they'll also go under the high also. But it's just nice to have a mid-range move, which the opponent forces the opponent to have to respect it and block low, which is always nice. And because it goes into aggressive stance on hit, then you can end up going for like mix-ups. Like you can go for the A. Just another mid right here in the KK option. You can also do the B, which is a low, or you can just go for a throw. And I'll let you know this throw does a crap ton of damage there. The aggressive shift stance throw does do 70 damage, and there's another one also which can give you like a 60 damage combo on average around there. So that's if you were to do the aggressive shift stance for A+G throw, so the back throw. So yeah, because of the good mids out of this, you can end up sneaking in. You can end up like sneaking in throws and stuff like that. And with this, you can also combo with the aggressive shift for A+G throw. You can even combo with the super. The super gets scaled a bit, but you still get like
hostile remains active.
You still can get like really good damage. Like if you really need a big burst of damage, and if you have the meter, then just go for it. But yeah, I think as I mentioned earlier, her CE does get scaled a bit in combo, so you can use it at your discretion. Alright, along with 66A, another string she has that looks similar is simply 3A or 3AA. I will let you know that 3A it's minus 12 on block, so the absolute worst that happens is if the opponent has a 12 frame AA or faster, or like a K, then that's all you're gonna eat for it, so it's not so bad. If you do, well, 3A, well, I can ring out. If you end up, if the opponent ends up blocking 3AA, if they block this, they'll be minus 16, but I think it pushes back a bit, so the worst is generally maybe a BB, even, and it may not even necessarily reach enough. So certain, I think it does push back a little bit. So, but yeah, this is a nice little mix-up with 66A. 3AA it also looks like a high, but it's a double mid, but it looks like it's slashing the neck, so it can be a bit deceptive too, which is nice. But apart from 3AA and 66AA, from mid-range, the other things you're going to be doing is focusing around maybe like whiff punishment. Like your go-to will be like 3B, like you sidestep something and do 3B, then you can go for like a combo after. Like AAB or AAA, which keeps the opponent close, and you have like some OP options or whatever, and you can also do Right there, AAK, which also gives you a hard knockdown. So it's nice stuff, and that's just a normal 3B. If the opponent does something that's really really negative, then you can hit them with a fully charged 3B, which right there you can like get off like different combos.
For this unit.
Like right there you can get like over 80 damage from a combo off of that, which is always nice. Another kind of like whiff punisher you can use with 2B from mid-range is like her 4-4-A. The input alone gives you a bit of a backstep, and you end up getting a bit of a knockdown after, which is nice. And you could do your forward B plus K for a good damage follow-up. Other options you can use from mid-range are a couple sidestep attacks like 2-2 or AAB, which right here gives you a stun that guarantees, which ends up guaranteeing your aggressive shift AA or aggressive shift A. So right here, every time you hit that, you can get a guaranteed of 44 damage, and because of the nature of how AA works, you can end up going for another aggressive shift that mix up right after, because it basically just you just keep like going into it and stuff like that, which is pretty nice. So, but aside from 2-2B, you can also use 2-2B plus K. So right there ends up causing a launcher, and right there you can get a little juggle off of that too. So right there you got almost 80 damage off of got 80 damage off of a sidestep or 2-2 B plus K, which is nice. You can use the 4A plus B launch. Well, this is a relauncher, which is, first I was wondering why you have anti-airs in SoulCalibur, but then after launching with that is pretty nifty though. So you can go really crazy with trying to implement that move into combos, which is actually pretty cool. And if you want a simple option off of 2-2B plus K, just do 4B, B, which can also bring out the opponent. Oh yeah, with regards to 2B's 3B move, this move on paper is like really unsafe. It's like -38 or something like ridiculous like that, because it leaves 2B in her flying stance. You can just hover down like that for fun. So if you end up doing 3B, then an opponent can generally just smack you like that for free or anything like that. But if you end up just doing this string, which is I think 3BB, you can actually punish the opponent's punish attempt. So this is actually pretty sick. So I mean like this, so if the opponent tries to punish you, you can just, if you don't mind just taking the 39 damage, then you can just make him look like shit and just smack him for that. I think it even goes over like BBs or something like that. Yep, you can go over like 2B zone BBs. I think only something like some Mina's BB can end up smacking you out of that. I mean, out of 3B. But if you do want to try something kind of like cute with that, try and see what that does against something like some Mina's BB. All right, just to show another compliment to any sort of mid-range approach game, along with the moves like 6-6A or 3AA, which are both your step kill and your approach move. A move you can use to complement 6-6A, which is a low-high, is her 6-6B, which is a 16-frame vertical strike, vertical mid, which has much better range than it may look, and it can also lead into, similar to 6-6A, it can also lead into aggressive shift, which is pretty nice, and that's also what I'm going to be taking a look at right now. All right, so with 2B, the aspect of her that you're going to be spending the most focus on is their aggressive shift. So the standard way to enter the stance is just to play quarter circle forward. there's a variation on that. If you do quarter circle back where you do a back feint, then she dashes forward. Unfortunately, you can't just simply do the back dash for zoning purposes or to get away. You always have to end up dashing forward, but it is a nice little evasive option. A cool thing you actually can do out of aggressive shift is you can do a quarter circle forward B plus K.
Eliminating.
And then you end up getting that back, you end up doing a little back step.
Eliminating.
And you end up getting a 60 damage strike, which with a move that has a lot of range on it.
Eliminating.
Like it can go like almost pretty much like across the screen. You can also end up doing that out of the retreating aggressive shift.
Eliminating.
Then you can end up creating more space, so you can do quarter circle back, then press B plus K. And then if the opponent like is thinking about wanting to like interrupt you or anything, then you end up using this move to make them think twice about wanting to do that. Alright, with aggressive shift with 2B, what I want you to do is focus on just kind of conditioning the opponent with mids like the K option, the A option, and then once the opponent is accustomed to just sand blocking, then sneak in their throws. Like her front throw from aggressive shift does a crap ton of damage at 70, or you can set up a free combo. You can still set up like around like 60-ish damage or so, or you can even get more if you end up using her critical edge from her aggressive shift back throw, which is always nice. And then of course when the opponent's standing, then you can try and sneak in the B option. You see, if you do B, then it puts her into her flying stance where you get access to her. You get access to her aerial move. Take note that any move that allows you to continuously go into aggressive shift also has the option to go into the other movement options, such as you can backdash, or you can like go up and stuff like that. So that is some really cool kind of different mix of options you can do for your opponent. Like, as you probably would guess before, that the main option that the opponent's going to be doing to try and stop you is either like a AA, BB, or like 2A. So those are the options that you do want to kind of watch out for, and you want to try and like condition your opponent to try and not try and interrupt your approach. So you can always make them fear. You can always end up just making them fear this option right here. 2B is not that big on break attacks in SoulCalibur 6, but the primary one she does have A plus B. It's a bit of an interesting move. On paper it's slow as hell, it's like well over 30 frames, and it only leaves her at 0 on guard, so neutral on guard on do it. It does have the ability to charge it if you hold it down to give her a +4. But where this move really shines is if you use it to interrupt like an opponent's reversal edge, I think. And I think it also would work on GIs. For instance, what it ends up doing is you end up getting like a big ass launch out of it, which is pretty awesome. There, you can end up getting off a pretty cool combo off of that. For low crushes with 2B, I would recommend her 9K because you can like get off like a free follow-up with her 3B after it. It is safe on block at only -8. The move's biggest weakness is its range is a little on the short side. Other options you can use if you want like a safe one is with her like 8B, 9B, any of her jump in B. It's a special mix-up to be blocked crouching or standing, but it's a nice fast option. And if the opponent knows to do like a really obvious low or anything like that, then you could use the riskier jump A or like 8A, 9A like this, which can set up like some really nice damage there with a 6/6 B plus K follow-up. Another low crush you can use is her 6 B plus K. See, this move right here gets you, well, that's 6 B plus K. But just so her 6 B plus K can get her pretty nice damage. As for high crushes with 2B, you do have her 2A and her 2K. The range is not exactly the greatest, it's pretty crappy, but her 2A does come out in 12 frames. It is a special, it means it could be blocked standing or crouching, but it's still good old reliable 2A. As for Wild Rising moves, which do High Crush, the go-to will be her Wild Rising BB right here. Gives you a nice little hard knockdown. And if you want, if you know for sure that the opponent will go for a hide, you can kind of go nuts with her, with the Granddaddy launcher for her full crouch 2B plus K. So for this launcher, despite being really huge, it actually doesn't allow for that much falls because it has a lot of recovery. Like you can do like 6-6 B plus K up there for like decent damage, and you can, if you have the meter, you can combo with her super.
Initiating attack program.
Although this is a kind of a great move to try and like surprise the opponent with.
Alert. Hostile remains active.
As you can probably guess, the aggressive shift does end up crouching, but I will give you a nice little tip with the aggressive shift. If you, after you go into it, if you press guard, you'll go into a crouching state. Then you can end up doing your crouching moves after that. So just go into it, guard, and you'll still be in a crouching state. 2B's throw game is pretty standard. Like she has her A plus G front throw, which knocks the opponent back and has the ability to ring out the opponent. Wow, they need to be like right at the edge in order to get down. Yeah, has the ability to ring out the opponent. Her back throw, her core A plus G throw ends up switching sides to get 50 damage, and she also has a command grab forward A plus G, which gives you this awesome looking head twister animation, but only does an extra 4 damage. I find that 2B's more dangerous throws are like her throws out of her aggressive shift. Like right here, her aggressive shift A plus G front throw gives you 70 damage, and her back throw ends up giving her, like you can end up doing different combos and stuff like that. So I end up showing later. So those are the kind of throws the opponents will look out for. So for her side throws, right there you can do a lot of damage from the left side throw. So for on the opponent's right now, you end up getting 70 damage from the opponent's left, and for the on the right side you end up getting 60 damage. That's pretty good. And her back throw also can set up a lot of damage, if I'm not mistaken. Like this one's actually kind of interesting that it can actually do different damage based on if you can end up getting like a different time. And let's see if I can show you right now. If 2B was a ball player, that would have been a home run. Is there anything this chick can't do? Alright, for that throw, after the initial A plus G, you have to press the second A plus G right as the throw hits. So it's essentially a just frame. If you end up hitting the just frame, aside from getting that awesome blue flash, you'll also get 80 damage as opposed to the usual 69. I mean, like 80 damage is a crap ton for a back throw, and 69 is still pretty solid in itself. As for 2B, her throw range is also pretty good. It's not necessarily one of the longest throw ranges, but it's still pretty good. And something about this character, just, I don't know, everything she like does just makes her like a badass. I mean, she even like grabs opponents like a badass. Alright, I'll say that running up the guard gauge, the guard damage gauge, is not really 2B's forte. Like you can use some moves like 6-6B or like 4B, or of course A plus B to try and run up the guard gauge, and even jumping B could do like decent damage, or you can actually get opponents to block her ranged moves. If I can get this, or then you can actually get okay guard damage, but she doesn't really have anything that does like a lot of like guard damage harassment aside from like little pulps and stuff like that. But if you actually end up running up the guard gauge, like if you end up running up like all the way, so if you end up for instance getting it up to like 99 right here, then the move that I actually do recommend breaking the guard with is her 6-6B, because that's just a nice, relatively quick move to break with. Here, I'll show you like something that you can end up doing after like a guard burst.
I was overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed.
For this unit.
I was overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed.
Initiating attack program.
Will continue to
Alert. Hostile remains active.
At a wall, 2B's damage is really modest. Let's say you were to wall slam an opponent with 6-6K, and you could do 3K hold, I mean the full hold, and you end up getting 47 damage plus 2 analysis points along with being plus 8. So that's nice. So yeah, you get around 47, 48, 49 damage depending on the angle. Another thing you could try is, let's say if you have 2 bars of meter, what that actually can do is it can cause your 4A to lethal hit. So if you end up lethal hit an opponent, you can wall slam them and follow up with 6-6B plus K twice. Alright, time to charge 2B up. Alright, for a 2B and Soul Charge, generally what you just get is kind of like more powerful version of strings. But what's actually kind of neat with it is that with her Soul Charge strings, you can usually end up getting like a little bit of an extended combo. Like you can usually get like a little, like off of like here 4 BBB, you can end up doing like an extra 6-6B plus K at the end. But one that I actually kind of find interesting is like her aggressive shift BB, for instance. You can end up combo with a AA. And right there, as you end up seeing that the Soul Charge aerial leap AAA ends up can extend combos, and then for instance like her like you can end up getting like extra damage from her, let's say from her aerial leap. Let me see if I can show you her aerial leap B2. You see right there, you can get like a little extra launch. Oh, while we're on the subject of meter use, 2B is something very special.
I will fulfill my mission.
Yes, she has 2 critical edges. And this is on top of the fact that she can already perform her main critical edge from aerial state. It's her self-destruct. And yes, it strips her
Vital
too.
signs declining due to self-destruction.
The thing with 2B is that she can only perform her critical edge when her health is basically really low, like well into the yellow. So when she's in critical state, she'll end up being. When she's in critical state, you'll end up seeing that she's kind of slouched over like she is right there. And when she slouched over that, you have access to the critical edge, and you perform it by forward A plus B plus K.
I will
like this.
fulfill my mission.
So it's just, and as you can see right there, it's in the form of a grab. Like she can only do it like when her health's really low, and as you see, it leaves her with like pretty much minimal health. But as you see, it ends up doing like almost half of the opponent's health. So yeah, it's basically literally an all or nothing CE. But with regards to CE usage, I say with 2B, her critical edge can scale really hard at times. I mean, where you can end up doing like literally less than 10 damage. So it's your choice. So if you either want to use the critical edge or the soul charge, but yeah, if you really want to kind of like, I guess, take the next step with 2B, I would recommend just to explore her soul charge usage, because it can lead to some pretty potentially lucrative combos. Alright, before I finish up, I just want to go over a few extra things with 2B. She does have a nifty little move here, which is performed by doing a 2B A slide. So you just press 2B, then slide to A. And you get this neat move, which is a tech jump in, track in move that ends up going into a crouching position and comes out reasonably fast, and you can get some neat little slash damage there. You can also perform the move just by holding A down, so you can get it like that. So that's always neat. With 2B's 4K, if you see, this is just a normal one, but you can hold it down and try and hit fish for a counter hit, and you end up getting that nice hard knockdown. If the opponent tried to AAU out of it, they will get counter hit even by the held one. They can try and GI it, but and you just do this one, which is a natural combo. But I will give you a heads up that if you do this version, you won't get the analysis point, as you can see right there, but it's still nice to kind of check an opponent on block. If you do the held version, you will be safe on block at -6, so that is kind of nice to know. As for unblockables, I think 2B only has one, which is 4-4-B plus K. It gives you a pretty damn epic launch, but I'm not really sure how often you're going to really hit this during a match, but yeah, that's an unblockable. I haven't really said too much about tracking moves. Like, I just basically recommend like 3AA, 6-6A, or like or 1A. You can also use 6AA, but I will give you a heads up that the second hit is not a natural combo, so the opponent can GI it. Like the part where pod comes out, yeah, that part can be GI'd, so you have to be careful of that. And of course, your tried testing through AA can also be used to stop tracking, so got a bunch of stuff like that. I haven't really said too much about the fishing stance, so what you do is just input B plus K, and you see 2B just, I don't know, she just has this way of just making everything look awesome. This character is just too awesome. Alright, as you can see, she can't stay in this stance forever, but the thing about this stance is it does have a few options. Like right there's the A, right there's the A option. This is the K option I might have shown you. You can actually change the distance by pushing the direction. If you push 4, you'll go in. If you press 6, you'll do long range. And if you don't input direction, you get medium, and of course you get your guaranteed 4K or 6K or other fast option like that. Well, I ended up saying she only had one unblockables. Unfortunately, her projectile attacks are all blockable and usually easily avoidable. But if you could somehow manage to hit this in close, you actually can combo this from her super, which is actually kind of neat. So I don't know how the hell you're going to really hit this in close, but if you can manage to combo that, it's a lot. 85 is it's a lot of damage. Want to see something else awesome about 2B's B plus K? Yes, it is a parry move. So just when you thought 2B's taking a break, she never takes a break. She's always ready to kick ass. Anyways, that's it for now. I want to thank you for joining me on this awesome 2B journey.
Report. Affinity increased.
Good.
And also, and Pod is also as excited as you can see. And I also just want to thank you for joining me during this holiday season, along here with Christmas 2B. But anyways, if you have any questions about anything with regards to this guide, or anything that's been like said, or anything like SoulCalibur fighting game related, then feel free to contact me on my YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. So if you have any questions about anything, also you could just end up asking in the comments down below. But yeah, I mean, 2B's an awesome characters. But anyways, that's it for now. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time on Top Tier Tips.
We are your hub. Emotion.